but he just heals so much HP with his passive that, especially when you take the -10 damage on the stim perk, like I will literally stim 5 times in a 3v3, and I will barely be missing any HP. And another thing you could do with the double stim is you could just be stimming around the entire fight, and then as soon as you're actually about to fight somebody, you use the second one. So it's not even like you have to preserve the cooldown. You can just stim 24/7, and then you always have your stim surge ready to pop whenever you're about to fight somebody. And obviously, fortified, speed boost, you use like a Volt or an Ultane or something with a huge mag, and you just one-way strafe, and there's not really much anybody can do. Pad is also a decent rotate tool. It's not the best in the game. I think Ash Portal, Pathfinder Zip, Valcolt are better, but it's good enough, and he is just one of probably the best entry frag character of all time, especially with him being a skirmisher. I think that is really what pushes him over the top. Skirmishers in this meta are, especially with the current dropship, are just super goated. So that is really just the icing on the cake. I think if he was an assault character, I don't think he'd be in a tier of his own, but since he is, I think that's just, he's goated. Moving on, this is a bit of a hot topic for the top 4 that I've got, but I think Bloodhound is super good. Like number 2 or number 3, and I think if anything in this tier list was gonna age terribly, it would probably be this one, but I actually think he's good. They declunkified him a lot this season with his ult and his tactical. They reduced the ultimate cooldown. Thank God. Oh my God. 4 minutes, 4-minute Bloodhound ult cooldown. Like you would ult twice a game. Especially in a meta where you might fight 5 teams, 6 teams, 7, 10 teams in a game. Like, you had 2 ults. If you ulted round 3, you wouldn't have your ult for endgame. It was insane. Unless you found ult excels, which is not a guarantee. I mean, I'd say maybe I see 1 a game on average, maybe. And that's only...
Last to the flame. There is something calling me here. Can you feel it? The heat of the flame goes to us all. Over there. My performance has not ended yet. Broke a rider's shield.
That one's out for the count. Reloading.
I have returned more spectacular than ever.
Feeling take by number 2.
Both are dead. I'm back and ready to kill.
That ain't being shot at. Already, I'm down. Just you and me. We'll have to move quick. Rápido.
I have returned more spectacular than ever.
Okay, breather. No. I'm down.
Only 2 of us left. Shattered an enemy shield. We're down.
What is gone?
Being down is must go faster. Kill then you're cracked an enemy shield. Down another enemy.
Half these squads have left the stage.
I need help. Help it. That hurts. You're cracked an enemy shield.
Shields are recharging.
They're not getting back up from that.
Kill them, Nigel Nomates.
One of our squaddies is gone, Burgess. Unleash my wrecking ball.
Lift. Fire. I'm recharging my shields. I shattered an enemy shield. Only 2 of us left.
30% of your ult. So I think it's 2.5 minutes. I think it's 2.5, could be 2, but that is a very welcome change. And then they also gave him better perks as well with the 50 HP on a knock. That's goated. They made his tactical a lot less clunky. Overall, awesome. I think
Killed Matt Maggie.
That way.
Yep, yeah! Down. But this man of one
I am back. Unveil yourself. Only 2 of us left. No wahala. We keep going.
Bloodhound is one of the most fair characters in the game. He has no damaging abilities, no abilities that immediately put a debuff on the enemy, like movement speed or minus health or not being able to shoot your gun like ballistic. Like, I think he is super fair. A lot of people disagree with me on
Kill leader eliminated.
Yo, I'm back. Taking fire. Yo, cracked an enemy. It's go time. We're already in the ring. Charging on my shields.
I have returned, my friends.
I'm back, you eggs shooting at me. That egg shield is cracked. Scrambled that egg.
Lifting the veil.
Killed an enemy.
Charging on my shields. Reloaded. No one hides from my troops. Taking damage. Down. This man of
I'm
one
recharging.
dead.
Let us move it. I am here, my friend.
Shooting at me.
Grenade. I have been left
I'm
solo.
down.
Listen, cautious.
Wrecking ball. Yeah, that one. Damage. Taking damage. Drills hunting for eggs. Here's the thing. Recharging my shield.
Replicator, I need shields.
Whoa. What a rush! Crack that egg shield. Being shot at. Sound is boring. I'm back. Down that one.
I have been left a solo act. It will serve me to be cautious.
That one's out for the count.
Kill leader eliminated.
1 minute. Thankfully, it's close.
Whoa!
45 seconds.
What the
Ring is near.
Oh yeah!
I'm back and feeling choice.
Being downed is boring. I must go faster. Rings around the corner and we've got 30 seconds.
Right. Which one of them bloody killed me? They're getting a hiding.
Yo, cracked an enemy shield. Reloading.
Wing close. Closer than 10. Good
Yo,
buzz.
cracked an enemy shield. Downed one.
Unveil yourself.
That one's out for the count. Taking fire.
Losing.
Needed me a checkpoint.
Wing closer than
I need shields.
Another squad's cutting it.
Charging on my shield. Must go faster.
Squad is in this. I need shields.
Being shot at. You're the sick. Recharging the
Look beyond the veil. I need shields.
Crack that ain't shield. Grenade incoming. That ain't shield and crack. He's shooting at me.
They're not getting back up from that. Yo, cracked an enemy shield.
An open heart sees clearly.
Gives us six. Recharging the shield.
Your veil will fall.
Charging on my shields. Gotta make it to the ring. Must go fast.
I'm back, my friend.
Just us and them.
Thank you.
Come on, amigos. Rings around the corner, and we've got 30 seconds.
My performance, see through the veil. I'm taking fire. I'm recharging my shields.
Yeah, nah. Crack that ain't shield. Point. I know what my
on that. I think Bloodhound metas are some of the most fun Apex metas that exist. And also, another thing, the last thing is that with how much mobility creep is in the game, people are way more spread out, and they can afford to be, than they used to be. So Bloodhound skin gives even more value. Third, I am gonna go with Alter. I would put Alter in A tier, but with the buff to the controller characters, I think that you need some sort of breach on your team, or you are gonna have fights that stall out for 3 minutes. So for example, if you're fighting a Catalyst team, if you don't have some sort of breach, you literally just have to leave, because they can stall that fight out for multiple minutes in a row, maybe even indefinitely in some buildings. And so if you don't have some sort of breach, then you're screwed. And Alter gets around that a lot, especially because they usually trap the doors, and then you just kind of come in the side, and then the traps don't really matter. I don't really think the controller characters are too good for ranked, at least in the current state. It may get hotfixed throughout the season. Yeah, I don't think they're that good, but there's going to be significantly more of them. So I think because she hard counters a class of characters is going to go up in pick rate pretty dramatically, I think that does push her into S tier, but like not as good as Octane. Like I said, he really should be S+, but this just looks it looks more aesthetically pleasing to me. So this is how I'm doing it. The fourth character, this might be another hot take. I think Conduit is the best support character once you get purple armor. I think when you have blue armor and white, she's just pretty good. But when you get purple armor and you get that perk that gives you 2 damage, she is super good. Especially because we're in a meta, like I said, where there's tons of mobility creep, right? You are further from your team than you've ever been. You know, your Horizon is 30 meters away, Newt scooting in, and you're playing Lifeline, he gets knocked, you can't really help him. Well, on Conduit, you can help the Horizon 30 meters away. Same with an Octane, or same with an ulted Bloodhound, or an Ulter, you know, queuing into a building and queuing onto a height. You know, you can help from so far away, and I think that's what makes her S tier and better than all its other support characters. All the support characters are good because of their medic class or support class, but they're still medic. And so that's why I would. I think I might have had her in A tier for the last one. I don't really remember. Moving on to A tier, I think he's not the top of A tier, but I want to talk about this because I'm gonna double down on this. I actually think I'm right about this. I think Mirage in the current meta, this is subject to change, it's very subjective. He has gotten a ton of power creep over the years, very slowly. You know, F tier, okay, 6 months later he's D tier, and then another change like 8 months later, okay, now he's C tier. I think he's an A tier character, especially if the dropship is gonna stay the way that it is. If it doesn't, then maybe B tier, maybe low A tier. But I actually think he's a good character. Now, people are gonna be like, oh, well, in competitive Apex, who cares? Okay, this is my tier list. I play ranked, I play pubs, okay? He is a good character. Ranked is a totally different game. If we're talking about, or comp, if we're talking about comp, it's like Caustic, Catalyst, Newcastle, S tier. Okay, you know, this is a base game tier list, and I think he's good. The fights are so chaotic. Sometimes you land quarantine zone. There's 7 teams there. Mirage gets a ton of value in very high chaos environments, and I think that's what we're in, especially with Octanes and Ulters and Horizons and flying everywhere. I think he's actually good, not necessarily due to his base kit entirely, but due to his environment that he is in. So the next A tier character, I'm gonna go with Bangalore. I think she is just super solid, especially if you're on M&K. I think if you're on controller, she might be B tier, but for M&K players, the smoke removes aim assist, and so
Recharging shields.
So you have a pretty big advantage, a massive.
Sponsored by Chevrex. Double time me. Give me a sec. Recharging shields. Zipline here. Double time.
Advantage over controller players in that aspect. Even if you're on controller, she's still good because you can one way with the smoke, and then the smoke is just a good ability in any FPS game. The
Giving him the chin. Give my shield a recharge. Spotted. Give my shield a recharge.
Here we go.
Already on my mark. Firing for effect.
Don't worry, I have returned automatically. Thermite out. Stinger incoming.
Give my shield a recharge.
Ready to fly on the zip line. I am.
Throwing arc star. Throwing arc star. Throwing thermite.
Giving my
Giving him the chin. We're halfway to the top. Dig in, squad. It ain't over yet. Double timing it. Give me a second. Giving him the chimney. Give me a sec. Recharge your shields.
The ult doesn't get as much value as it used to because of how much mobility creep there is in the game. Like I said, Octane Pad over the top, Horizon Q over the top, Alter Q through a wall. I mean, it's easy to dodge, but it still does create a lot of chaos in the battlefield. I sound like a trail in the battlefield. That sounds like an Apex cringy trail, like a Battlefield trailer. She's just a solid character, nothing too insane about Bangalore. So next, I'm gonna go with Horizon. This is subject to change. They nerfed her Newt Scoot ability into the ground, took it out back, farmed it, destroyed it, put it up on the wall, taxidermy style, terrible. But in the recent season, not in the patch notes, they actually reverted it and it's back to what it was. Horizon is very good on controller and very good on MK as well. She has benefits and cons to both. Just a solid character all around. Very slippery, very good survivability, very good entry fried character.
True aim and impeccable footwork. True aim and impeccable footwork.
Her ult, low-key, kind of useless. I'm not gonna lie. Ult is horrible. It has fallen off so hard. It's gotten so many nerfs, but her passive and her tactical are so good in 3v3s, and she's really good at fighting third parties too because she's not reliant on her ult. Characters that aren't really reliant on their ultimate ability becoming increasingly more valuable with how many third parties there are and how easy it is to third party in general. So Horizon is one of those characters where a lot of her power is baked into her tactical.
Tracker out. A tra poco. Recharging my shield. Follow me. Opponent found and tracked. Tracker scanning. Tracker out and scanning for enemies. I'm back. Didn't really have any other plans. Tracker set and ready to gather in. Tracking an enemy. Recharging my shields. enemies. Target scanned and tracked. Recharging my shields.
Deploying a variable.
Recharging my shields. Cover me.
Beware. I've added a variable. Odds remain on our side. We are halfway. Gas cloud deployed.
Bullseye. Enemy tracked.
I still see it.
Back in the fight. Attention.
I still see everything. Throwing on star.
Yeah, nah, you did good. Artist did good.
Tactical in her passive. She gets a lot of value there. So keeping on with A tier, I'm gonna put Wattson. People are gonna disagree with this, but I think she's a very strong character. She is very hard to knock. Tons of health regen. Her perks, some of the probably the best perks in the game, I would say. Her ult makes her team very, very tanky. And if you also small hitbox. And if you look at the engage, this is my analytical data to back this up. Respawn has released the engagement rates of legends and how often they win fights. Wattson is like number 3 or number 4. So she wins a lot of 1v1s, a lot of 3v3s. I'm not surprised. Being able to heal shields is one of the most valuable things in this game. And Wattson does it passively. She does it with the ult. People are really sleeping on this character. I just think it's because they might find her boring. I like her. I'm not even saying this as like his Wattson, a biased opinion. I genuinely think she's good, and the data from Respawn backs it up. Rounding out A tier, I think I might put Crypto in A tier. But this might be a little troll. I'm not gonna lie. I do think he's good. He is just very, very boring to play. And also horrible, absolutely terrible if you are trying to improve at the game. Half the fights, you aren't even fighting. Like one of the best qualities
like Papa taught me. Recharging my shields.
Captured.
Target spotted. Attention. What's with Dwyer joking my
Tossing an after.
knocking at the door.
Negating all incoming artillery. Sweet silence.
Give my shields a recharge.
A change of power. Slowing an ox down. Neutralize that zone. Recharging my shields. Just giving my shields a recharge. Magnifique. Fence in position. Eye of the storm.
We got company, people.
Has been neutralized.
Give my shield a recharge. Giving him the shimmy. All right, those are.
Just topping up my shields. Oh no, they got a zone.
Stay with me, Doc, and keep the healing coming. Hey now, enemies dropped down here.
Landed nearby.
They're about to win. We have to stop them.
Pop in the chimney.
Hold on. Shields charging.
Throwing thermite.
The player can have is the playmaking ability, knowing how to get angles, knowing how to get that entry damage. And with Crypto, you practice none of that. So if you play 100 hours in Crypto in a row, you will probably have worse mechanics after the 100 hours than before, because you just spend so much time not playing. But he's very good at resetting. That's something that I think people are sleeping on. Very good at getting off resets, and his invisibility in the drone as well is super good and a super good addition. They did nerf his purple perk, which gives him a lot more EMP charge when he scans people. But I still think he's good. I still think he's A tier. I think he's boring. I wouldn't necessarily recommend playing Crypto, but I think to say that he's not a strong character would be disingenuous. Like, I think he's a top 10 character. Pretty, I don't know about easily, but he's definitely not like bottom half for sure. So for the rest of B tier, I think I am gonna go Wraith. I think I'm gonna put her at the top of B tier. The only saving grace of Wraith is that she is a skirmisher. If she wasn't a skirmisher, she genuinely would be laughing tier or poop tier. Her kit is just really outdated. Octane is a good example of somebody of what Wraith needs, because a lot of his abilities got like reworked. You know, he got a better passive, he got something added on top of his tactical. He's got the pad. This is a long time ago, but the pad changed from just being a pad to being two pads. It can go up or you can go far or straight up. She needs something like that. She needs stuff added